Beauty Tribe? It's your girl Naja here, and I am back with another video. I decided to come on camera very fresh faced, very chill, because to be quite frank, that's just how I'm feeling right now. Today we are going to be doing a call center story time, and this is a story that I completely forgot about. I don't know how I forgot about this story, but it's insane. And this is mainly going to be like a nice little gem for a lot of my OG tribe members that have been watching me for a long time, and you know, a lot of my old friends from my past, those characters and stuff like that. This will be a gem for you. Yeah, this is a time where this is an ex-friend. I just want to set that off the rip because I wasn't really sure how I was going to title this in my head to like get you guys' attention very quickly. So I just put an ex, but it's not like an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend. This is my ex-best friend. How my ex-best friend's mom ended up working with me while we were not friends, and how it turned out. And yeah, I'm just gonna get right on into it. If you guys like my call center series, please give it a thumbs up. You know, it's kind of winding down to an end, so if you guys like it, please give it a nice little bon voyage. Thumbs up all these videos, rewatch the playlist if you'd like. And yeah, I'm just gonna get right on into it. So I want to say that this was around, like, I don't even remember what era of Ratchet Corp this was, but I do know that I was in loss prevention, and I do know that I was a data analyst at this time, and I was a permanent data analyst, so I was not seasonal. So I really want to say this is like not the peak season with Raymond, but the peak season after the fact. I really want to say, but I cannot be completely sure. And we were getting in some seasonal hires. Now legally I cannot talk to, because like whenever I do talk about Ratchet Corp, I may tell you guys little things here and there, but like I signed paperwork when I first got hired on, not when I left. I didn't sign any paperwork when I left the company, but when I did get hired on, I did sign paperwork saying that I cannot really go into detail on operations within Ratchet Corp, so I can't really go into detail on what this system was or what it's used for, but basically it helps with identifying people, if that makes any sense. And I'm like really not trying to go into depth into it because yeah, it's a lot, so I'm really not trying to go into depth on it, but it helps you identify people mainly just by like their first and last name, or like, you know, phone numbers, stuff like that. And when you get hired onto the loss prevention team, you get an account in this particular software that grants you that information. Granted, depending on what level of agent you are, you're going to be able to get more information, but every person has an account, right? So whenever you join the team, you get an account. So my supervisor came up to me and he was like,
"Hey, are you busy?"
And for once I wasn't, because it was peak season was starting. But you guys know, if you watch my videos, at around like July, August is when we start first hiring people for peak, but it's not like flooded busy yet. So we were getting new hires, but I wasn't like flooded busy. So I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not busy, what's up?
So is it okay if, can you just like plug in these accounts for me, make new accounts for these new hires?
And I was like, okay, cool. So he gave me a list of people, and there was a person's name on that list that looked so familiar to me, and I just did not know why. And mind you, like, I don't know, like the first name's not familiar to me, but I was just like, you know what, that name is kind of common. But then when I saw the last name, I was like, okay, I know this person, and I cannot for the life of me think of where I know them from, right? But I was like, you know what, it's cool. So I plug in their information and, you know, all that stuff, but it's still eating at me that I'm like, who is this person? So this is basic research tools. This is not me telling anybody how the operations or anything works. When you want to find out who somebody is, you Google their fucking name. So I plugged their name into Google, and I was like, oh shit. Oh, sorry, my dog's playing with her toy. Like, oh shit, this is Leo's mom. And I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so awkward. Like, Leo's mom is going to be at Ratchet Corp, and not only is she going to be at Ratchet Corp, she said, fuck customer service, I'm coming directly into loss prevention. And I'm like, oh my god, I hope this isn't gonna be awkward. I hope she's cool about this, because like Leo's mom knows how difficult Leo was when we were friends. I have not spoken to him in 2 years. I don't know how he is now, but at that time when we were talking, she knew how difficult he was, and she was my main voice of contact. When I had an issue with Leo, I would call her and be like, what the fuck is going on? Or there'll be times where she calls me and she'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Because Leo was like a pathological liar. Like, he would lie about the boxers he put on that morning, and like, I was like, hopefully she'll be mature about it. And like, you know, because I know she doesn't know that I work, well, she knew that I worked at Ratchet Corp, but I don't think she thought that I would actually stick a job, because Leo didn't stick the job. So I'm pretty sure she just assumed that I didn't work there anymore. I want to say like a few weeks went by and I completely forgot about the whole thing, right? And then out of nowhere one day, the training class comes in, not to like sit down and have their desk, but like to just review the workspace, like, you know, just do a walk around and be like, okay, you know, you might be sitting there or you might be sitting here. So I'm looking at this class hard as fuck because I know this lady is about to come through the door. And you know, she walks through the door and we make eye contact, and she looks like she has seen a fucking ghost. Like, she looks like a deer in headlights at me. So I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I like glance away from her and I look back at my computer and I was like, that was so much more awkward than it had to be, but it's whatever, right? And like, I don't know, I was just like, okay, I mean, shit, sis, it is what it is. Like, people gotta get that money. But I remember Leo's mom didn't have a job because she had just had a baby or something like that. So I was really surprised to even see her working. But I guess, I mean, shit, when you're healed up and your baby's straight, get some extra money, right? So I wasn't knocking her for working. I was just like shocked and surprised. Eventually, she comes in the training class, maybe like a week later, the training class does come in and get their seats and stuff. And I was like, you know what, Naja, don't talk to her, because that reaction that I just got, well, a week prior, was just like, okay, she's shocked. She might even be a little embarrassed, like, because look, I know my mom would be embarrassed if my mom had to work in the same department as me. Like, and it's not even about working the same job as your daughter, because we're all adults, but it's just like, it'd be different if like we were in different departments and we just so happen to see each other around. But it's just like, not only do we work in the same department, but I am a higher up. Like, I'm higher up than you are, and it can be awkward. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave her be. Give her space. Well, she had a completely different plan. This walked up to me and was like,
oh my God, it is you. I knew it was you.
And that shit just caught me off guard, but at the same time, it made me happy, because I was like, okay, cool, she's not gonna be petty. And you know, she gave me a hug and I gave her a hug back. I asked her how she was doing. She said she was doing fine. And I was like, yeah, if you need any help with anything, just let me know and I'm here to help you. Because it's like, even though me and her son fell out, I am not a piece of shit person. Like, I'm really not. Like, I don't hold grudges. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. And at that point in my life, you know, I just started being on YouTube and like being creative, and you know, I was finally in a good space. Like, I decided to get into a relationship with Daniel around that time. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm just like, things were looking up. There was no point in me being negative. And it's like, yeah, even though Leo still does not like me for reasons I don't fucking know, he despises my ass, I love the fuck out of him. I don't care. Like, I love people. I really don't give a shit. So just the fact that his mom came up to me on some like cordial shit and wasn't petty about it, sure, I don't know what the fuck she said behind closed doors, but as long as you come to my face, right, and you're being an adult and you're being like cool about it, that meant a lot to me. So now the awkwardness is out of the air and we're being cordial. Every now and again, you know, she would chat me if she needed help, and I was really open to help her, but I could still tell like she would chat other people that had the same job function as I did, because I could tell like it was awkward for her, because like I said, I'm a higher up, and you saw me when I was a baby. Like, when I first met you, I was 9 years old, and now I'm 21 years old, and you basically work for me, and it's awkward, and I get it. So, you know, she would hit up other people that had the same job function as I did for help and stuff like that, and you know, it was all good. Vontae, old stupid self, kept trying to hit on her, and I'm like, Vontae, like, she got a whole hubby out here, like, don't be hitting on her, like, stop. Like, because even though, like, yeah, I'm not best friends with your son anymore, like, I still have like that instinct of being overprotective, because you used to be like my second mom at one point. Like, and yeah, I know some of y'all are like, how is that your second mom when you didn't even recognize her name on the sheet? And it's because I never called her by her first name. Like, I've never referred to her as her government before. Like, and then she had a different last name than my ex-best friend, so it just didn't hit me all at once, right? So kind of defensive. I was like, Vontae, don't talk to her like that, like leave her alone, like no, stop, like she got a whole hubby out here, like leave her alone. Vontae just being a whole nigga out here, bruh. One day I noticed that she didn't show up for work, and I was just like, okay, I mean shit, she probably got sick because it's that time of the year. She had probably been working at Ratchet Court for maybe like, I want to say it was around like November or so when she out of nowhere just like didn't show up. It had to have been no more than 2 or 3 months. She just didn't show up, and I was just like, okay, maybe she's sick. So then she didn't show up for like a whole week, and then that's when Vontae was like,
yo, like where is old girl or whatever?
I'm like, I really don't know. Like, we're not as close as we used to be. Like, we're just cordial, like, because you know shit went down. Like, she wasn't my friend. I mean, I was her son's friend, so it's not like, you know, she's gonna call me and let me know what's going on. One thing I forgot to mention before she went missing, okay, because she did go missing, I'm gonna come back to that, but before she went missing and I found out that she was working there, before she even came up to me and said anything to me, I immediately went to my current best friend, my current homegirl or whatever, who used to be Leo's roommate, and I was like, sis, you will never guess who works at my job.
Girl, who?
Well, you know, I was plugging her up into that software and I Googled her name, and it's Leo's mom.
Oh my God, are you serious? Blah, blah, blah. Like, can you tell her to hit me up?
Because Leo still owes my friend rent money. Leo owes multiple people in Jacksonville money. And they owe, whenever I see them in public, they always be like, hey, are you still cool with Leo? And I'm like, no, I don't have no beef with him, but I don't talk to him. They'll be like, oh, well, if you do see him, let him know he owes me this amount of money, he owes me that amount of money. And like, the first thing that my friend said was,
okay, so since you plugged her in on that system, that means you can find out where she lives.
and honestly, y'all, I didn't know their address. I knew their address by heart. Like, and that system even confirmed where she lived. And my friend was about to be on some gangster shit and just pull up and ask his parents for the money. And I was just like, oh my God, sis, I don't know about all that. Like, I was thinking about not only my current job being in jeopardy, but like, if YouTube doesn't work out and I want to go back into data entry, like, then my reliability for confidentiality is fucked, because I decided to be a petty bitch and get this man's mama's address and give it to a bitch that wants smoke. Like, no, like, what?
Just think about it, you know, he fucked you over, he fucked me over.
My homegirl's a Taurus, you know, Taurus can hold on to shit a little bit longer. I'm kind of over it. Like, that's too much energy being wasted. Like, she'd be on some Cardi B shit talking about, if you got beef with me, we got beef forever. And I'm just sitting here like, shit, that was yesterday. That beef is cold, bitch, I'm over it. Like, so, you know, when she did come up to me on like some cordial, friendly shit and was saying hi to me and, you know, brush that shit under the bridge, that was even more confirmation to me, like, no, this is not right. Like, even if I could do it and get away with it, it's still not right. And because she didn't have shit to do with it. Like, yeah, her son was a fuck up and he owed people money and he disrespected a lot of people, but I don't feel like they should have to pay for that. So, you know, I just kind of let that shit fizzle down with my homegirl. Like, I didn't tell her anything. And when I tell you, when I told my homegirl that, she hit up one of Leo's other old roommates that who he owed money, and they were like, oh yeah, we're about to slide on these people and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. So I just like let that shit simmer down, and everybody ended up forgetting about it over time, and that was just that. So boom, sorry if you guys see this light on my face. It's starting to, like, the sun is starting to set. So, you know, she ends up going missing. She ends up going missing or whatever, and you know, it's another week goes by, she ends up going missing, and apparently Vontae had found her on Facebook or something like that and was talking to her, and she just ended up quitting because she just didn't want to work there anymore. And I kind of got the vibe of why she probably didn't want to work there. Like, she didn't know I was gonna be there, and she didn't know that I was gonna be a higher up. Like, I could see how that could be an ambush and that could be awkward, because at least I got a green light. I saw your name on a piece of paper. I knew at some point you were gonna be walking through that door. You did not know I was gonna be there at all. Like, so I could see how that could be awkward, and like, I don't know. It was interesting. It was very interesting. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this story. Like, I never heard from her again. I never spoke to her again. I remember I even told my mom, I was like, yeah, guess who's working here? And she was just like, oh, well, is she acting funny? And I'm like, no, she's not acting funny. She's actually acting very polite. And she was like, yeah, that's very cool. Like, I wouldn't expect anything less from her and blah, 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 you know. But hey, that's what's up. And I didn't, and like, honestly, I don't know, because I did know that Leo and his mom were very close. So I was like, I don't know if she's just gonna end up hating me just because he hates me. But I was really happy to see, like, you know, she didn't hold his opinions against me, because she knows how he could be sometimes. But again, I don't know, he's probably changed. It's been 2 years, going on 3 years now. Like, he's probably a completely different person. I have no fucking clue. But it sucks that she had to leave, you know, and I just felt so guilty, because I just felt like she left because of me. But hey, there's hella jobs out there. It is what it is. Have you guys ever had to work at a job with your ex, whether it be your ex's mama, your ex-BFF's mama, your ex-BFF? Let me know in the comments below. How did you guys deal with it? Was it awkward? I would love to hear about it. This situation was not awkward for me, but again, I already had a heads up of what was going on. But if I wouldn't have known, it would have been pretty awkward. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.